You even have makeup on.
Yes.
So, Mama, I brought you back some whistles. Yep. And can you tell us about the whistles?
Well, when I was a little girl, I remember that my dad, who was a conductor for the German railroad at that time called Reichsbahn, and he used it. And I one time saw him actually using it. My mom had taken us to the Dietz where he was working on the railroad, and then we all got on the train and we looked out the window and there was my dad going like this.
Ow!
It's quite loud. And then this other whistle we also found at home. Maybe that was his first one. It looks a little used, but we are happy to have both whistles here. They're quite old, and they were used in around 1930, and we treasured them. And maybe someday Carsten Kirscher will be the new owner of these two whistles and this ribbon.
And how long was he with the railroad, you think?
I'm not quite sure, but that was during the war. He didn't have to go to the war because the railroad was still in business and had to be run. So he was excused as a soldier, and he worked for the railroad till after the war in 1945.
And what did he do after the war?
After the war he was in prison because he was active for 9 months in the party, and then he was in prison for 3 years and came out of prison in 1948.
But being involved in the party was not really his choice at that time.
No, at that time he was told either he goes or he will be shot. And at that time he had 4 children, and that was not an option. So he was the party leader of our small town for about 9 months, and was in prison for that for 3 years, close to 3 years. And when he got out of prison, he wanted to go back to the railroad, and they told him he wouldn't get his old job back. He would have to go and clean the railroad tracks, and he didn't want to do that. So he went into construction and worked in bigger cities. Every Monday they came with a little van, picked up many construction workers, and they drove to Cologne and Frankfurt, wherever they were going to build Germany up, because everything was demolished from the bombs, and they had to rebuild.
And so during that time, he was gone a lot?
He was gone from Monday through Friday.
Yeah. And then he came home on the weekends?
With the paycheck.
Of course. And so you and your sisters, were always waiting for him?
Of course we were.
And so tell us about your mother.
Mama had to run the household and had to make do what was available. We had our own garden, and we had vegetables, and we had also fruit. We have the huge plum tree. I remember that.
Does that plum tree still exist? Is that still the same one that Eric and I used to get Pflaumenkuchen?
Yes. I'm not sure if it is still around, but there was another tree that was called Mirabelle. Mirabelle is not a known plum here in the United States, but very much known in Europe, especially in France and they make excellent jam.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever we go to Europe, we buy Mirabelle jam, and also some. They make a wonderful liqueur.
Mm-hmm. And so, but so your mother was a pretty strong woman?
Yes, she was. She had things pretty much under control with us. Mm-hmm.
What was her name?
Maria, and her maiden name was Wingatz.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And there was Opa Karl
Yes.
Herbst.
Karl Wilhelm Herbst.
Uh-huh. Any other good stories? I would just remember always, you know, he was already retired, and when Eric and I used to go, and he'd sit downstairs in the Wirtschaft and played a card game.
Yes, they played Skat, and he also was a singer in the local chorus.
Uh-huh.
And got a certificate from the German Singing Society from Cologne at that time. And I actually don't remember where it is. I one time took it to Tante Henny to have it framed, but then they moved and maybe it got lost, and I'm very sad about that.
Well, have you followed up with her?
Yes, I have, but it seems to be gone.
Uh-huh. Well, those are wonderful memories.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.